Good morning. Just about 7:39 at AM 990 KWAM. It's Memphis this morning. Well, it's Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland and her guest joining us for your Tuesday morning. Here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome to our studios. The good thing about Let's Talk Growth with Tracy Strickland is she always brings good weather. It's
at least
another
sunshine.
beautiful
Although it almost blinded me, I was coming out east.
Our future
to come
is so
to your
bright.
Station. Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Wear shades.
Now we really love this segment. We get to every Tuesday. We get to kind of look behind the scene of a very successful local community bank, Triumph Bank, and find out a little bit more personally about some of the employees and people that make it possible for them to do such a great job at Triumph Bank. And Tracy, who's your guest this morning?
Well, I'm so excited to have one of our newest employees. We, have really been rethinking the way we run our retail bank offices and trying to find, not only those folks that are super knowledgeable in the banking industry, but number one, and we've brought on Catherine Duncan and talked about our culture and what it means to be a part of the Triumph team, but really to find those people who match our culture, who embrace that focus on customer experience and having that exceptional customer experience. And so we have a brand new manager for our Collierville office, our new banking center manager. I'm so excited to have Andrew Flowers here this morning with me, and we're going to talk a lot about our new checking accounts and that sort of thing, but I wanted to welcome Andrew and say thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Glad to be a part of the team.
Man, I'm good to meet you, Andrew. Welcome in, and what a lucky situation. That's a beautiful bank out in Collierville. It's a great community.
It is. It's a wonderful place. You pull up and you just kind of feel like you're home. It's a nice spot.
I know it, man. I bet you're lucky. Feel very fortunate to be there.
I do. I was very excited to go and work with Triumph and to hear what they're doing with the retail side of the bank. It's exciting. It's something new, and it's going to be incredible.
Well, we're going to look into it a little bit deeper here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank on AM 990.
Well, 7:44 at AM 990 KWAM. It's Memphis this morning. It's Tuesday. Let's Talk Growth. Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland and her guests in the studio, and your host, as always, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank and Tracy Strickland. Tracy, we were talking before the break. We got to meet Andrew Flowers, the new manager for the Collierville branch. But, you had said something that I know just this weekend was coming up in the conversation is there's no customer service out there anymore. I mean, we could just name all kinds of situations where people act like they're, on the other side. They're really not interested in getting your business.
That's right. Well, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of banks out there. There's a lot of service industries out there, and I think if you'll ask any of them, what makes you special, and they'll all say our customer service. And you can't say. You just can't say just customer service anymore. And so, what we really strive is to create an experience when you walk in. Number one, we know you by name. We understand your family. We understand if you've got a business. We understand your goals and needs and dreams. Andrew, it's very funny. We've brought in several members of our team, and they all have a common thread, it seems like, and they've been in banking their entire career.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a reason for that. I think banking can be a hard industry.
Yeah.
There's always things in the news about some of the bigger banks that it puts a damper on the great things that we're trying to do at a local community bank. And so I think that coming from some larger banks, we're thrilled to have that experience that Andrew's bringing, but I think he also appreciates that really close customer experience that we can bring. So, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Andrew, talk to us a little bit about the things that you see just off the bat that are a little bit different out of Triumph Bank versus your other experiences.
Well, I can tell you, we're much more customer-based. When they walk in, they get our undivided attention. We're not looking around and seeing who's next in line. We're focused on that customer that time, and we're going to make sure that before they leave, we talk to them, we ask about their families, we see how they're doing, not on just a financial level, but on a personal level. Because when you connect to people that way, which is something Triumph does really well, people remember that.
Yeah.
You can ask everybody tons of financial questions, But what about my kids? What about my business? What about, that part of life? And I think that's something that we do exceptionally well at Triumph Bank.
And really listen. A lot of times people throw out something, but they're just doing it mechanically. But when you listen, like I know, there's a culture about Triumph Bank, I think, that is
well,
real
I think
caring.
that a lot of times you go into some banks, there's, what you might call as quotas. Like we've got to open a certain number of, this type of account and sell this service. And, that doesn't, we obviously want to grow our bank. We're here, what's a profitable business, but, we're much more focused on, getting to know that customer, figuring out, okay, we've got lots of different things. And after the break, we'll come talk about our different checking accounts. But we're not just going to put you right here in this peg because we've got to open up 20 of those accounts. We want to know what's best for you and how our services are going to benefit you. And honestly, as our focus, as we've been talking about, is making banking easy for them.
Yep.
And simplifying their life.
And, by going through that, I guess, and I know you guys listen real well, that that's probably why you continue to develop new, services that are so good for your customers, because you're listening to them when they're talking and you're going, okay, well, we should add that or we should do that. So your customers and their needs, and what a great bank. Again, it's Triumph Bank at triumphbank.com and 901-333-8800. When we come back, we're going to talk about a new product. Is it a relatively new product?
Well, again, we're just going to really talk about, like, if you're needing a new personal checking account, a lot of the benefits that come with all of the accounts, but then we'll drill down to figure out what what benefits are for each account so that our listeners can find out what might be best for them.
We'll be right back. Let's talk growth with Triumph Bank on AM 990.
About 7:53 at AM 990 KWAM. It's Memphis This Morning. Let's talk growth with Triumph Bank and her Tracy Strickland and her guests in the studio with us this morning, and your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to our studios. And let's talk growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland.
Morning, George.
Morning again. We're going to talk a little bit about a checking, a really cool checking product that you have. So
I'm going to let Andrew talk about, because first of all, we have a lot of benefits that come with all of our checking accounts first, and then we're going to dive in. So, Andrew, you want to share?
Sure. Some of the just standard things that come with our accounts: online banking with your unlimited bill pay, so you can get all those bills into the computer and pay them every time, or set them to automatically go themselves. Mobile banking for smartphones and tablets. And then you've got your instant issue debit cards. So when you walk in and you need a debit card, you're going to walk out with that card ready to go.
All right.
So that's a great benefit. You can also customize them, put pictures of your family, your pet, whatever things you enjoy.
Team.
Sports, I'm a Vols guy, but hopefully have a good season. Then remote deposit capture for businesses as well as people. You can take photos of your checks and make those deposits right there where you're at instead of having to drive down to the bank. So if you're out of town, not a problem. Free ATM access at all First Tennessee ATMs and MoneyPass ATMs. So it gives a lot more network to our customers. And then, of course, when you order your first set of checks, those are free as well.
That's sweet. That's really nice.
So then you have to start thinking about, okay, well, those are a lot of benefits. Now, I am, over a certain age. But I do like to keep, about, $1,500 or so in my account, Andrew. So what do you think would be the best account for me to start with?
Well, if you're going to keep a balance of $1,500 or more, we've got our performance checking, which if you have $1,000 or more in there, you're not going to have any types of fees whatsoever.
That's awesome.
And that way, you're not paying the bank. You've got that right set up, and it's fitting what you do already. It's a great benefit.
If I have some things that I want to keep, like in a safe deposit box, are there some features on that performance checking too?
Yes, you can get up to 50% discount on 2 years safe deposit box rent. So you're getting half price for 2 years.
Yeah, that's great.
Great benefit.
Fantastic. Well, I know we've talked a lot about how we focus on our millennials and our young professionals. We've talked about our young professional checking. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, actually, we have an account that's designed for young professionals, and I believe we're the first to have that. It's a great benefit. Your first order of checks are free. You get the young professional instant issue debit card. Of course, the online banking, all those things that come free. But the first year, it's going to cost you. But after that, you get to keep that $1,000 average balance in there, and it's going to be a big benefit to you.
And, of course, the biggest thing is no ATM fees ever. That's my favorite thing about that account, which is so huge for that. Yeah. And then, of course, for our 55 and over, we've got an account set just for them, our Prime Timer.
Prime Timer. And on that Prime Timer account, something that really hits well with our older clients is they're going to get 0.40 on their checking account just for having that balance in there with us. And it's a great benefit to them. There's no minimum open deposit for them. So if they need to come in and get it set up to have that Social Security or whatever else they have coming in, they don't have to bring something to us to get it going.
Boy, that's good.
Yeah, just set it up with the direct deposit. And they also get the safe deposit boxes as well, right? They get a discount on that for life.
For life, 10% discount for life.
That's sweet.
So,
that's awesome.
Great
and
benefit.
then, of course, and if you're like, well, I just need a checking account. I need to open it fast. I don't want any charges. Tell us about that.
We have complimentary checking. It doesn't have any requirements for that to be free. You get a 50% discount on the first year of your safe deposit box rent. Of course, you get the free mobile apps and all those things that come with it. But it's a complimentary checking, and it has no requirement to bank with us as far as you have to have direct deposit or you have to use your debit card this many times. It's just something we don't do.
Yeah, there's just too many boxes to have to check. You're like, all these, all the major disclaimers. We're real easy, Just come in and we're going to give you these benefits, mostly always complimentary, and, just work with your banker. And I think that's the thing, is just to have them ask questions so that they can understand, truly what's happening. So you really may start out at the young professional account. And then, as you grow in your career and you hit 40, then you determine which is the best place to switch. And, of course, we've got savings options that are fantastic as well.
So Andrew is giving away free money today out at Collierville.
He's doing it again. Great account. What he's doing. Yeah.
So come see you. What's that number?
Yeah.
We'll all be out there today. So Andrew Flowers is a new manager in Collierville, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's the number we can reach you?
The number there is 333-8828. That's my direct line. So
8828.
Call me there. I'll be glad to talk to you.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. We'll look forward to hearing all the good stuff you're doing out in Collierville.
Yes, sir. We're excited. We're going to do some great things.
Thanks for coming in. And Tracy?
I'm so happy to be here. We have a busy week at Triumph. We're sponsoring a couple of events on Thursday. If you're a small business owner, come to the Small Business Seminar, and then Art for Jobs is for Advanced Memphis.
Sounds great. You're listening to AM 990.
Would you like to help the Memphis Area Rideshare Program in their efforts to improve our community's air quality? For information, go to MidSouthCleanAir.org.